What's going on? So, I had a thought. Well, I didn't really have a thought. I've been having this thought. But anyway, I thought I'd share with everybody just my little perspective on basically, treating your relationships the same way you do your job. So, I'm going to break this down for y'all. I know it's probably like, well, why we do that? But here's the thing, right? So, you know how, you talk to your relatives, family, friends about like a job that you want, right? You go, you search a job, you see one, you're like, oh my God, I'm just praying for this job. I really want this job. It fits my criteria, my skill sets, everything. I really want this job. And you're so excited about it, right? So you apply for the job. It's a million candidates now. It's like so many candidates they can choose from. So you apply for this job. Go through the whole process. You get the job. Now, when you get in the job, you're doing everything possible. I mean, you're doing the damn thing. Like, you're working it out. You're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're excelling. You're going above and beyond. You know what I mean? You're like a stellar employee. And then after a while, once you get used to the job, flies out here. Once you get used to the job, it's like you start slacking off. You get used to it. You get comfortable. You know what I mean? So, same thing with a relationship, right? So, you meet this person, you're like, oh my God, I really want to be with this person. I really want this person, right? They're perfect for me. They match my goals, my wants, my needs, everything. Oh my God, I really want them, right? And then you go through the whole process of dating, courting, whatever you want to call it, whatever everybody does. And then, you get into the relationship, and then you start to get comfortable. Like, well, at first, you like your job, you're doing everything possible, you're stellar, you're just working it out. And then you start to get comfortable and used to it, and you just start to slack off. So, I think my thought is like, once you're in relationships, it's like, whatever you do to get that person is the same thing you have to do to keep them. Same thing with your job. Whatever you did to get that job, you got to do the same thing to keep it. Because what happens is like what? When you get a job, you start off with a goal setting phase, a mid-year phase, and a year-end phase. And for those of you who are entrepreneurs or don't work in corporate America, whatever, that's what happens. You get a goal setting, mid-year, year-end. So at the goal setting, what? You're making sure that you're all on the same page. You're all, doing the same things. You're working towards the same goal. Cool. Then you have a mid-year phase where you're sitting down talking about, are you meeting these goals? Where are we at? What are we doing? What's going well? What's not going well? Okay. Then you come to the year-end phase where it's like, okay, we had a mid-year phase. We talked about our goals. Now we're at year-end. So what are we going to do? Like, did you either fix the areas of opportunity or you didn't? Like, so where are we going to go from here? You're going to get let go or we're going to keep on to the next year. So again, in your relationship, same thing. When you first meet a person, you discuss your goals, your wants, your needs, everything, make sure you're on the same page. Then, in the middle of the relationship, you check back, say, hey, are we still on the same page? Are we still trying to do the same things? We still moving in the same direction? If not, here's what we can do to change that. And then you have year end, where it's like, okay, I done told you, this is what I want to expect. This is what you want to expect. These were our goals. Where are we going to go from here? Now, with the job, what happens when you don't perform? You get let go. They fire you because you're replaceable. Same thing in a relationship. When that time comes to have a conversation of, okay, I done told you all these things and you haven't done it, it's the same thing. You get let go because you're not doing any of the things that we discussed prior to in our mid-year or goal setting phase, right? And then at the end of the day, you have to realize, like I said, when you got that job, it's a million candidates. When you went into this relationship and you courted this person and went after this person, it was a million other people they could have chose, but then they chose you. So whatever you did to get their attention, whatever you did to, get them to want to be with you, whatever, you got to keep doing that same shit. You can't, start off good and then start slacking off because now you're comfortable. Because again, it's like a job. Once you get comfortable, you're then become replaceable. Because it's like, there's a million of people that can do your job. Just like there's millions of people that can fill your spot in your relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything that you do in that relationship, that job, like, you have to work just as hard at your relationship as you do your job. Because, yeah, you're getting money from your job, you're getting paid from your job, but you're also getting something from your relationship. It may not be monetary, but it could be love, support, partnership, companionship, whatever that is. I mean, hell, some people do get money from their relationships. I mean, it just all depends on, what your personal wants are, and what you're looking for. But, at the end of the day, you have to remember, and this is not just, and I'm not just talking about men, I'm talking about men and women, because this goes both ways. There's always somebody praying for what you have. And there's always somebody who is willing to do the work for what you have. Because a lot of times people feel like, oh, well, they want too much, they require too much of me, your standards is too high, whatever the case may be. But it's like, again, it's like with a job. Well, you read the qualifications on the job description before you applied, right? So if a person told you who they were and what they expect and what they want before you went into it, then that's what you signed up for. And if you can't rise to a person's expectations or what they need from you, then you should move on, just like a job. If you can't meet the expectations and the qualifications of the job, you move on. It's the same thing. But I say all of that as far as comparing your relationship to your job, just to say, like I said before, as hard as you work at your job, you got to work at your relationship. Like, you wouldn't go on your job being disrespectful, right? Because you get fired. You wouldn't go on your job cursing everybody out, saying F you, calling them bitches. So you wouldn't do any of that. So why would you go home to the person that you lay next to and do the same thing? You wouldn't go to your job, trying to swing on everybody or whatever, for those of people that deal with domestic violence and things like that. So why would you go home and do the same thing? So honestly, money is great. Having a job is great, all those good things. But guess what? Without somebody to share those things with, without somebody to have that companionship with, it really doesn't mean anything. Because we can all be rich. We can all have a whole bunch of money, but guess what? If you don't have nobody to share it with, and if you don't have anyone to really, just build with and call home with, what's the point? What's the point of having all that money if you're just sitting there lonely? Because money does not buy you happiness. So, again, as hard as you work at your job, give that same effort to your relationship. And as hard as you work to get that job or get that person, keep that same energy throughout the entire relationship. Because at the end of the day, a person gets tired. People get tired, and my mom always tells me, when a person gets tired, they make a change. And so, when you're tired of constantly going over the same thing over and over again, it's like, okay, this isn't going anywhere. Again, like your job, okay, we gotta let you go because it's not working out. You know what I'm saying? So, as I think if more people started to think of their relationships in that way, like, I go to my job and I really just give it my all, and then I come home and I'm a complete asshole. Or, I come home and, I don't help out, I don't do this, and whatever the issues that lie within your household is, like, think about it like this. Like, if I can go outside my home and give 110%, then I need to be giving 120% inside my home, because that's where I lay my head, that's my peace, that's my sanctuary. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can always find another job, but it's hard to find another person who will ride or die with you, or who will just be there for you whenever you need a support system, whatever the case may be. And I'm speaking of, pretty good relationships. And now if you just got a horrible, just toxic situation going on, then yeah, there's really no help for that. But if you really have somebody by your side that's good to you, that's like, always for you, putting you first, make sure you straight, especially before they make sure themselves are straight. Like, you don't go outside and give your all and then come inside to give someone your ass to kiss. So, you have to realize that everybody is replaceable. Everybody. They don't care. You can be rich, poor, fat, skinny, ugly, cute, don't matter. Like, everybody can be replaced by somebody. Like, nobody has a permanent fixture anywhere in this life, right? Because tomorrow's not even promised to us. So, when you think, like I said, of your relationship in terms of how hard you work elsewhere, then, I think it'll probably change the mindset of how we, look at our partner, spouses, husband, wife, whatever. Like, you have to do, it takes work. And like I said, the same way that someone is sitting here praying for this job, oh my God, I want this job, I want this job. Guess what? Somebody is sitting there praying for your man or woman. Oh my God, I want this man or woman, I want this man or woman. And I would do whatever it takes to make them happy, to do whatever. It's so many people out there that is willing to do your job and do it better on your real job and your job in your relationship. Like, there is. And, it's up to you, the individual, if you are willing to allow someone to, take your spot, Like, you just got to think of it like that. Like, it's a billion people out here that he or she can be with. So I'm either going to work for mine and put in the work and get the results in the end, or I'm not. But either way, if you're not, then you get let go. You get fired. It's just as simple as that. It's like hard work equals a great payoff. And if you're not doing the work, then, what are you really there for? Right? Like, so if you don't like your